AITA because I, 38F, don't want to take my stepson, 9, on vacation? 1 year later new update. Original post July 21st, 2023. AITA because I, 38F, don't want to take my stepson, 9, on vacation? My husband, 39, and I have been married for 5 years. We have 2 children of our own, both girls, aged 5 and 2. I also have a son, 10, from a previous marriage, but I was widowed. My husband's ex is barely involved in stepson's life at all. They got divorced when stepson was 2, and his ex wanted a fresh start, so my husband did the decent selfless thing and had complete custody of their son, even though he'd wanted shared custody. I got a bonus at work and I really want to go on vacation with just my family just once. We've been on family vacations all together lots of times. But just once I want to spend my money going on vacation where I'm not looking after someone else's kid. I want stepson to stay with his mom while we go on vacation. My husband sees my point of view and is okay with it. I don't think I'm being at all unreasonable. My mom found out what I was planning and says I'm being a complete These are the reasons she says I could be the My mom says that if stepson's mom isn't properly involved in his life, I should be even more involved in his life to compensate. I think this is a completely unfair expectation. 2. She also says that I'm being a hypocrite taking my son, but I think that's totally different because my son doesn't have another parent. I'm all he's got. If stepson's mom won't take him just for once, then obviously he'll come on vacation with us. But I don't think I'm the to ask if I can have a vacation with my own family just one time. It's not like I hate stepson or something, he's a nice kid, he's just not mine. Am I the relevant comments. Asinine Adeline. Info, if my math is right, you and your husband got married when stepson was 4? What kind of relationship does stepson have with you versus with his bio mom? OOP. Yes, he was 4, and as I said, he barely sees his bio mom. I'm not sure what point you're making. Verdict, a-hole. Update, we definitely won't be going on vacation without stepson. After a couple hours of replies, I decided to show this to my husband. We sat down and had a really long talk about it. He told me he's never been comfortable with my attitude to stepson, but didn't know how to say to me before. I don't want to be a bad person, I just never thought of stepchildren being yours. I don't think it would be easy for anyone to accept this level of criticism, but all your replies have shown me I have a lot of work to do. As many of you suggested, and so did my husband, I intend to see a therapist to help me with that. As I said, I don't hate stepson in any way, I have never been deliberately cruel to him, I've just always thought of him as my husband's child. But I realize my mindset needs to change, so I'm going to start working on that. I want my family to be the best it can be, and I need to accept that it includes my stepson. I understand that now, and I'm going to start seeing a therapist to become a better person. We've also talked about maybe having family therapy too. I've also made up with my mom, and she is 100% behind the changes I want to make in my life. It wasn't easy to hear everything you said, but I understand that I needed to hear it. New update asterisk. I wasn't given permission to post an update to my original post on the subreddit, because the replies I got were too heated, and the mods advised me to post an update to my profile instead. When I made my original post, I was told by literally thousands of people that I was TA, and it helped me see how wrong I was and had been for the last 5 years. I booked a therapy appointment the following week and started working through my issues. My own father died when I was less than a year old. I don't even remember him. My mother married another man when I was 7, but he left when I was 11 and I never saw him again. It hurt me in a way I'd never processed before. I loved him, he'd been my dad, and suddenly he was just gone. That taught me that step-relatives weren't part of your family. They weren't forever. I always thought I was doing better than my ex-stepdad. Because I provided for my step-son and I stayed in his life, I was better than my ex-stepdad. But I made my step-son feel the way my ex-stepdad made me feel when he left me, and I regret it so much. A little while after I started therapy, we started family therapy too. The therapist helped me explain to my step-son the way I felt about step-relatives and why I'd always behaved the way I did. He cried and said he was afraid that I just didn't like him, and we had the first proper talk we'd ever had. I told him that wasn't true, and I had just been a bad step-parent like my ex-stepdad had been to me. My relationship with my step-son is so much better now. We spend time together, just the two of us, and except for this post, I never call him or think of him as my stepson. He's my son. I accept now that he'll always be my son, that unlike my ex-stepdad, he's forever. Even if something happens between me and his dad, he'll still be my son. Most of all, he always called me by my first name, but last Thanksgiving, he asked to start calling me Mom. It made me so happy. I told him that I loved him and he said he loved me too. Since then, he always just calls me mom. A lot of people also talked about the ways my husband needed to improve, to be more assertive and protective of his children. He knows that. It's very easy to see the problems when they're presented to you all at once in a Reddit post, but when things happen day to day, it's a lot harder to realize how issues are building up. But he's working hard, like we both are, to try to make our family the happiest it can be. We both know we still have to keep working at this. I'm still in therapy and we're still having family therapy, but I'm grateful to work at it. I'm grateful to have all my children. It's very hard for me to write this, to think about the way things were before I started therapy. It makes me cry every time I think about it. But I want to thank you, Reddit. I wrote my original post just looking for validation for my own point of view, and I never thought the internet could change my life this way. But it has. I feel like for the first time, we're truly a family. Thank you all. Story 2. AITA for refusing to buy a late birthday gift for my son's classmate. Original post, May 23, 2024. I have 3 kids, 8M, 5M and 1F. My younger son is friends with a classmate, I'll call him Mikey. His brother James is in the same class as my older son, but they're not friends. Back in March, the boy's mother informed the class mom group chat that James had the flu, and his birthday party would have to be cancelled. My older son had not been invited to that party. My wife and I didn't even know about it until she saw the text. But since my son wasn't friends with James, we didn't mind it. My younger son just got his invitation to Mikey's birthday party, which will take place in the first week of June. On it, there is a reminder to bring an additional gift for James. Both me and my wife were confused. When we asked their parents about it, they said that since James didn't get to have his friends over for his own birthday, they wanted his friends to have the opportunity to give him gifts during Mikey's party. Again, my older son is not friends with James and had not been invited to his cancelled party, so we were never planning on giving him a gift in the first place. We didn't even know it was his birthday. Even if we were buying him a gift, we'd give it to him on some other occasion, not during his younger brother's party. It doesn't feel fair to Mikey. Once my wife and I had agreed on that, we informed the boy's parents we wouldn't get a gift for James. We told them all our reasons, but they argued that we were being petty and vindictive, and that it was unfair to deprive James of a birthday gift just because our son doesn't like him. From what I gather, that's not the case. Their mother is threatening to uninvite my younger son from Mikey's party over this. Their father is less harsh, but still thinks we should reconsider our decision. AITA? Relevant comments. Commenter, so for starters, you are most definitely NTA here and the parents are incredibly strange and entitled for this. However, it makes me feel badly for both of their children. It is not you and your wife's job to provide gifts for the older child, but I would look at it like this: how important is Mikey to your child? Could you spare even a small gift for the older child, even if it is from the dollar store, so your son could spend time with a friend who is important to him? It makes me feel like the children are not treated right by their parents, and it makes me feel sad to see this kind of behavior from them. But no, you are not wrong. OOP, while I wouldn't say money is a problem here, we're not made of it. My daughter turned 1 week ago and will have family coming over from our home country in July, so we're trying not to spend too much. Even if I looked for an inexpensive birthday gift, I have no idea what James likes, and neither does my son. I also would not give it to him during Mikey's birthday party. I know it was their parents' decision, but if I wouldn't do it to my own kids, I won't do it to theirs. Commenter, OP, are they also inviting your older son to the party? Is he getting food and cake as well? Then maybe a gift is fair to offset the costs of him as a guest. OOP, my older son is not invited to the party, only my younger son. Commenter, NTA, super weird. You literally couldn't pay me $1 million to be in a classroom mom group chat. OOP, my wife is there because they give out information about the school sometimes, but she hates it. OOP is voted NTA. Update post, June 27, 2024, a little over a month later. The main piece of advice I got when I first posted here, or at least the one that stuck with me the most, was to buy a smaller, inexpensive gift for James. I was more than fine with doing that, but I had no idea what he liked. I also didn't want to give him that gift during his brother's birthday party, as that didn't feel fair to Mikey. My wife and I talked, and we settled on getting James a gift card to a bookstore. We also had our older son give it to him at school, days before the party. He said James was grateful. Later that day, the boy's mom texted the mom group chat saying she didn't want people cheaping out on James just because it wasn't his birthday. My wife agrees that it felt targeted, but we can't prove anything. Either way, we've given him a gift. We don't need to indulge in this any more than we already have. We'll just complain to each other. Our younger son wasn't uninvited from the birthday party. I was working, so my wife took him. According to her, the party was clearly Mikey's. The only thing indicating otherwise was the fact that James opened his gifts during it. My wife said she avoided their parents, but did get a few dirty looks from them, especially when Mikey opened the gift my son had picked out. It was a Spider-Man toy car that he thought Mikey would like. We'd bought it before this whole fiasco. Since we actually know Mikey, it was more personal than the gift card. I still don't understand a single decision the boy's parents made, but I'm glad my son's friendship is intact. I just hope my wife and I don't need to interact with that family too much in the future. Thank you. Relevant comments. Commenter, I can't believe you actually gave a gift and went to the party. This is ridiculous and disgusting that they would even write on the invite to bring the sibling a gift. I would have not went and kept my family away from that shitstorm. OOP, we didn't want to upset our son. He wanted to go to the party, so we let him. Whatever problems we had with James and Mikey's parents are none of his concern. Commenter, I know people recommended that at the behest of the children, but it feels like you've just taught their parents that the behavior was okay. Why wouldn't the kids who were going to go to the other boys' party not go to this new one? Why didn't they just throw a combined birthday for both of them where each friend brought a gift for the person they were going to originally? Also, the entire message of, don't cheapen out, would have had me cancel going altogether. Now neither of their children get a gift, and they get to miss out on my kid at their party. I'll take my kid out somewhere fun with the money we would have wasted on their brats. OOP, as much as I don't regret getting James a gift, I'm very upset at his parents. The kids didn't deserve any of this.